Hello, my name is Adis Tiryanin, and I am a student at Eastern Oregon University. This presentation is part of my MBA program for BA 580 class. The final project consists of doing a case study on the United States Postal Service. Thank you for being here today. Today's case study will be broken down into 8 segments, and we will talk a few minutes on each, while providing you some valuable information about the company. Those 8 segments are history, mission and vision, USPS internal assessment, their external assessment, strategy and SWOT analysis, strategy implementation, strategy evaluation and recommendations, and finally conclusion. We will begin with history of USPS. The birth of USPS goes back to the Revolutionary War era, when mail system was used as an alternative to the Royal Mail, which the colonists disliked due to its higher rates, considering it is an unfair tax. In 1775, when the War for Independence began, the Continental Congress appointed Benjamin Franklin as the first Postmaster General. During the early years of USPS, the receiver would be the one who paid for the delivery of the mail, not the other way around as we know today. First stamp was introduced in 1847. They were 5 cents, and including Postmaster General Franklin. The 10-cent ones had the first president, George Washington. Mail stamps standardized the delivery cost and provided public a more efficient service. The USPS has no official creed or motto, but the phrase that is usually associated with USPS is the neither snow nor rain phrase that is found on the New York's James Farley Post Office. This phrase showcases amazing history of USPS, and I believe that it's a tribute to American postal workers. Today, the United States Postal Service is a leader of postal service delivery, delivering more mail to more addresses in a larger geographic area than any other post in the world. Some interesting and breathtaking facts about USPS is that it delivers to approximately 155 million addresses in every state, city, and town in the country. The company made itself available to everyone living in the United States and provides access to postal products and services regardless of their location. How big exactly is this mail business, you might ask? Well, let's take a look at some of the figures and numbers which speak for itself. 68.8 billion in 2013 was their operating revenue. I'm going to go through some of these, and you guys can just read the rest. Like I mentioned before, almost 155 billion number of pieces processed and delivered, 47% of the world's mail volume handled by Postal Service, 31,606 number of Postal Service managed retail offices, the amount of vehicles they have and how big their fleet is, 214,933, 19.2 billion was their total retail value, 1.5 billion people visited USPS that in 2015, and 155 million total number of deliveries, like I mentioned. Their mission and vision statements is that the Postal Service remains committed to efficiently and effectively providing the service our residential and businesses customers need. Our mission remains to provide universal service that binds the nation together. Their mission is that the Postal Service provides a reliable, efficient, highly trusted, and unique universal service that connects people and helps businesses grow. The vision statement is that the Postal Service will continue to improve its services and its capability to adapt to the changing needs of customers in the digital age. Now, this is my improved mission and vision for the company. I started off by saying, world's leader of postal service with timely deliveries combined with logistics, technology, and efficiency serving residential and business customer needs. My new revised mission statement would state affordable mail delivering service providing efficient and reliable business options for our customers and businesses. The new revised vision statement would be retain a record of being the leader in the mail service industry while expanding our delivery network across the globe. Competition, when it comes to competition, USPS faces a couple competitors, which are the biggest ones. Those are FedEx and UPS. Their vision and mission statement is slightly different. For example, UPS's mission statement is grow business globally, maintain financially strong company, inspire internal external partners, and lead by example and responsible caring company. The UPS's vision statement is to synchronize the world of commerce by developing business solutions that create value and competitive advantage for our customers. For example, FedEx mission statement and vision combined into one is that it begins with FedEx Corporation will produce superior financial returns for its share owners by providing high value added logistics, transportation, and related business services through focused operating companies. Customer requirements will be met in the highest quality manner appropriate to each market segment served. When comparing my mission and vision statement to the leading competitor statements, we have a similar goal, which is to achieve customer satisfaction in their shipping and mail needs. Where we differentiate, in my opinion, is the size of the package. UPS and FedEx target international segments, while USPS focuses on the national level. As for USPS, they're fantastic for anything lightweight, and that's what we want to tell our audience in our mission and vision statement. My mission and vision statement is simple, to the point, and easily understood by customers, while competition has a lot to say. This means that the competition can lose their customers along the way in such a lengthy mission and vision statement. The strategy that I envisioned for USPS was to remain a leader in the postal services, while explain exactly what we offer in my mission and vision statement. The mission and vision statement supports our strategy because the company will do exactly that, provide postal and mail services to customers and businesses everywhere and anywhere. Next, we will move on to the internal assessment. When it comes to financial assessment of USPS, the company has been trying to turn the company around. The company has attempted to make significant changes in order to reduce their operating expenses and improve their efficiency. The company continued to show significant growth in 2015 despite the decline in volume when compared to 2014. The increased growth in 2015 was by 1.2 billion, which is 7.5% over the previous year as shown here in table 1. Revenue increase was in the competitive products, but the standard post and competitive international mail revenues declined. While USPS's market share is focused on the national level, their competition is focused a lot on the international revenues, which makes USPS figures go down. When it comes to key ratios, we will focus on 3 key financial ratios and review Postal Service's overall financial health. The 3 ratios are debt ratio, fixed asset to net worth ratio, and current liability ratio. Table 2 shows these 3 sustainability ratios, which were calculated using Postal Service's balance sheet when compared to the previous year's value and historical 10-year average. We will look at the debt ratio. To gather information from USPS's debt ratio provides information about the company and its ability to absorb reductions in asset value that increase from sales, disposition, and the depreciation of assets. Such debt ratio represents a relationship between 2 main sources of capital, which are equity and borrowed capital. Table 2 shows that there was a rise in the USPS's debt ratio to 3.10, which is a bit higher from previous year. 2015 shows to be a successful year when looking at the debt ratio because 3.10 is as twice high as their average 10-year value, which is 1.78. The maximization of statutory borrowing doesn't show sufficient capital gains which were used to gain funds beyond basic earnings. When looking at the fixed asset to net worth ratio, since their fixed assets are mostly buildings and equipment, it is hard to turn into cash. Even though there was improvement from previous year, the decrease in the efficient over its fixed asset caused a negative fixed asset to net worth ratio. The last one is the current liability ratio. The debt indicates that the amount of debt USPS is required to pay within 1 year, and the USPS's short-term liability showed 66% of total liabilities, which was an increase of 3% from previous year. Next, we're going to go into the internal assessment here. This is USPS's official organizational chart. As you can see on top, we have the Megan Brennan. She is the Postmaster General and Chief Executive Officer. She is the 74th and the first female Postmaster General of the United States and the Chief Executive Officer of the world's largest postal organization. If we keep going down, we will see Ronald A. Storman. He was named the 20th Deputy Postmaster General in March of 2011. As the second highest ranking postal executive, he serves on the Postal Service Board of Governors and on Postmaster General Megan Brennan's executive leadership team. Next one down is James P. Cochran. He was named as Chief Marketing and Sales Officer and Executive Vice President in January of 2016. He reports to the Postmaster General, and it is responsible for all domestic and international products marketing, development, and management. He is also responsible for the Postal Service pricing, global business, sales, and stamp service organizations. The next one down is David E. Williams. He was named as Chief Operation Officer and Executive Vice President in February of 2015. He leads the continuous improvement of the entire postal network operations, as well as the allocation of people and resources. He reports to the Postmaster General. My recommendation for their current organizational chart is just by looking at it, the organizational chart appears that it is properly divided among the sexes, where the company employs and recognizes women with C-level titles. One thing I would change is to throw in some diversity in the mix, and also add some millennials to the organizational demographics. These are the people I just mentioned earlier. Megan, top left. Ronald A. Storman, top right. Bottom left is James. He is the marketing sales officer. And bottom right, David E. Williams. He is their COO. Next up is our marketing positioning map. As you can see here, we are looking at a few different competitors. And this market positioning map, where we compare competition on the map to how USPS compares to competitors based on two given qualities. I'm comparing competitors to that are fast and slow, as well as expensive and affordable. Using this map, we can determine what is desirable and what is not. But if you throw in a third variable, for example, reliability, it can change outcomes of the map. Combining reliability with speed, the cost wouldn't be an issue then, because customers are willing to pay that extra cost in order to get the other two. The key to positioning is finding a way to satisfy your customers and fulfill their needs while you get away from competition and capture the perfect space on this particular map. Next up is USPS's marketing strategy. The marketing strategy used at USPS is used to obtain a slice of the competitive market and make necessary changes while growing the company. In March 2016, USPS announced their new change, which is by using information and technology, technology-driven reinvention of mail. The goal is to give USPS more digital opportunities and capabilities. Their Chief Executive Officer, Megan J. Brenner, with the title of Postmaster General, said that they are supercharging their information platform. It is designed to transfer mail. Their new informed delivery system is an upgrade from their real mail notification system. The old real mail notification system, I apologize. This new system is their new mail preview service in form of a mobile app, which was scheduled to be introduced in early 2017. When compared to competition, Amazon, UPS, and FedEx, they already have apps, therefore already ahead of the game when compared to USPS. The USPS's new platform is a secret unless they come out with something new, fresh, and truly amazing. It could backfire and fail miserably at launch. So USPS needs to step up their game and show what exactly they are about to announce, which would possibly could it can make them or break them depending on what that is. USPS operation, their headquarters is located in Washington, D.C. The United States Postal Service employs some 617,000 workers, making it the third largest civilian employer in the United States behind the federal government and Walmart. USPS is on social media. They advertise on various websites, but for example, here we show Facebook. They have their own Facebook page and it is informative and used for marketing purposes. Just like their competition, UPS and FedEx, they all have a Facebook page providing similar information and trying to capture attention of their customers. The Facebook website allows customers to raise their voices and share opinions, concerns, and complaints. This could be a positive experience for customers, but at the same time, when customers are not happy with their service or their package gets lost, this is another channel where they can go and complain, which could backfire at the company. So it is really important to look at what exactly company offers by having a Facebook page and how could that backfire at them. Next up, we're going to look at their external assessments. What we did here, we are going to look at their SWOT analysis. We're going to talk about the 4 categories: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I will list down some of the strengths. We will just fly through them. I don't want to talk about every single line. Here are some of their strengths: experienced business units, high growth rate, skilled workforce, reduced labor costs, on-time delivery, employee leadership continuity, trusted brand and customer loyalty. The package service business grew by 8.7%, largest operator of a single fleet in the world, has a lean management structure. They're finally starting to do some changes in their infrastructure when it comes to technology. Next up, we're going to talk about their weaknesses. Some of their weaknesses are cost structure, small business units, productivity, tax structure. They're really heavily union based, no control over employees. They receive no tax dollars or operating expenses, lack of product change and innovation, increased operating expenses. This seems to be a problem with them. They spend a lot on all of their expenses, and technology outdated. Even though they are starting to introduce a new technology, I feel that their technology is way behind. They need to step up their game. Next one up is their opportunities. In the opportunity section, they are average service and are affordable versus their competition. When it comes to smaller packages, I should say that. Government control offers extra funding as needed, so they have that avenue to seek for money from government. They show growth with online sales. They made some updates to their 5-year strategic plan annually. So global expansion, geographical expansion, so they keep to grow. They just need to basically make some necessary changes. Next one up is their threats. In the threats, we talk about they have weak economy tends to hurt them. Fuel and gasoline fluctuations is another one because they have such a large fleet. Air transportation decreased when it comes to all these fuel costs. Appointed board members, that's another one that controls how everything's going to be run. Labor unions, they can be good and bad depending on the situation and timing. Lack of marketing and advertising. This, I believe, is a big one. I have yet to see a commercial on TV or somewhere about United Postal Service. Unless you go to the store, it's hard to see any advertising. Um, Incoming new entrants with lower operating costs, all these new firms offering different ways, cars and whatnot. Green is the new thing. A lot of vendors are starting to go green, which they can offer lower costs. It could be a threat to USPS. Technological problems, sites, security updates, and then a lot of government regulations. That kind of sums up my SWOT analysis. As you guys can see, there's a lot of improvement that could be made. There's some good things, there's some bad things, there's some potential business changes, but all these are necessary for USPS to evaluate in order for them to grow the business correctly. All right, next one up, we're going to talk about some strategy implementation and recommendation are on this page. The recommendation would be to try to get government funding for more investments. Since they have the money where they can get the money, they could use that money to improve and move on and grow the business in different ways. A better agreements with their online stores to offer cheaper shipping. They need to involve their managers, employees to be part of their strategic plan development. Just because they're not C-level employees, that doesn't mean that they do not have some good ideas. It's good to listen to your employees internally. Better company image, better advertising, marketing, like I mentioned. New delivery method to certain states. That could save them some expenses. Change things around. I believe that each state works differently depending on traffic, depending on how big the state is. So there could be some changes made there. Customer satisfaction and loyal customer focus, providing that extreme satisfactory customer service. When we go to USPS, it's not the most pleasant experience. I think that has a lot to do with that. So if I'm paying money for their business to get their business, at least I could get is a smile or a greeting. So that's important, I think. Beating competition when it comes to pricing, they could change some things around to see if they could boost up the sales, motivate the workers, like I said again, get them to do their job in a more entertaining, I guess, ways. Just talk to customers, smile at them, have a conversation as they're processing the transactions, just different ways internally. And let's see what else here. Reform international shipping rates. They are known to basically have high costs when it comes to international. When you compare them with UPS and DHL and a bunch of other companies, they seem to be on the higher end. So that's when it comes to recommendations. Next, financial recommendations here we're going to look at. Postal Service total retiree health benefit seems to be an issue, and they have an obligation to pay annual payments amounts required to liquidate their unfunded portions. RHBF payments constitute about 57% of the Postal Service's overall current liabilities, which is huge cost to USPS. The recommendation would be to overhaul their retiree health benefits and make some financial changes on how it pays out these benefits. This would improve their financial status in the long run. The ideal goal would be to get rid of the RHBF funding, as it is the biggest financial drain for the company. I'm sure they could figure something out where they might not need to get rid of it, but definitely some changes around because it seems to be their biggest financial drain. Proposal evaluation strategy is that what constitutes best value will vary depending on the particular purchase and the aspect of value, meaning quality, prices, delivery terms, etc., sought by Postal Service. These aspects of value are expressed in the solicitations, evaluation factors, which should be tailored to the particular purchase and consistent with the requirements purchase planning, market research, and any other business considerations deemed important to the success of the purchase. And let's see here. The Postal Service substantially revised their development proposal evaluation, which is what I just read. Their goal was to have this best value, which represents their methods in the basis for all Postal Service purchasing decisions. In this statement here, that was their definition of what the best value means. The key in this message is to determine what is the direct connection between the best value and the evaluation factors. The best value for any particular procurement is defined by the solicitation stated evaluation factors. This method clarifies misunderstanding of what the solicitation says will be evaluated and what the USPS purchasing team considers best value. And for our conclusion, the United States Postal Service seems to get in financial trouble. It seems that all the time they struggle to somehow put their finances in check and appropriately put money where it needs to go. Such problem is not always in the faulty accounting process for their pension plans. The world is changing, and so is the need for paper mail due to the technology improvements and the digital communication. Fundamental changes are needed to enable the USPS to survive, including consolidation of facilities and reduction in many of their segments. It is important to review all of the moving parts when providing accurate feedback to a company such as USPS. Reviewing their financials and giving recommendation can be a difficult task because there are so many segments of such a large firm. With that said, small changes are possible, and over time, an overhaul can be accomplished in order to improve the USPS's overall strategy plan. Will Congress allow these changes to happen is a big question. But in order to compete in this competitive market, the Congress will have to ease off USPS and lift limits on competition with this government-owned enterprise. Here is a list of my references. I would like to thank you for listening and taking time. This concludes my analysis and the case study. I thank you for your time and have a good day. Thank you.